Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It's me again. It's Raquel. Today, I just wanted to go a little low key. I didn't really do my face today. As you can see, I'm wearing my glasses because I cannot read without them. So today, as you can tell, I'm going to do some of my favorite brushes that I use from my eyes to my foundation to my blush brushes, my foundation powder brushes. So let's just get started. Just jump into it. So there are a number of brushes that I use. I have like so many brushes. So many brushes. It's problematic. And this year I promised myself that I was not going to buy any more brushes. I'm just not gonna do it. So I try to stick with what I like. A lot of my brushes, they come from either Ulta. Like I said before previously, you can get brushes from like Marshall's or TJ Maxx in the back, like where they sell their beauty products. If you're not familiar, I've gotten MAC products, I've gotten brushes from Marshall, TJ Maxx. You don't have to spend a lot of money on them. So these are my eye brushes, and the majority of our brushes that I use for my eyes for blending come from Morphe. And let's see, the first one that I normally start out with just applying my shadows, you know, just to go ahead and buff it out and apply it to my lid. This is the Morphe M532 brush. You can see this has like a fluffier head. So this is really going to be good to start with your transition shade on your eyelid. So that's my first go-to. I normally use this one every time. Or if I just really want to blow some shadow out, I use this BH Cosmetic brush. This has like a bigger head to it. This is the BH Cosmetic number 4. And you can see it's a little bit fluffier. So it's really good to just, even if you're just doing like a single shadow and you really just don't need a bunch of application, I would use this brush here, and this is BH Cosmetic. My second go-to brush is my Morphe M441 brush. This is more the brush that I use if once I put my transition shade on, and then I start kind of adding on like my crease color, you know, and I want to start blending in shadows together. I use this brush here. And Morphe brushes I normally get from Ulta. They're very inexpensive. This brush might run you about maybe $7 to $10. They're very, very reasonable. You don't have to go to MAC and spend $40 on one brush. It is completely unnecessary unless you just want to. This one here, this is a BH Pro, and I think I got this into a set. Normally when I do buy brushes, I try to get them into a set, and I never pay full price. Every time I buy my products, I usually catch them on sale. I usually sign up for the email alerts on different websites, and I wait for their sales and then I buy them. This is a good crease brush that I use from BH Cosmetic. Now, when you really want to get into like pinpointing, I would have to take my glasses off, pinpointing like the size of your eyes or anything, I usually use a smaller brush, and this is, I think this is a Morphe, yes, this is the Morphe M507 brush. This is really good to get like the corners of your eyes, or also like smoking out the bottom of your eyes. You know, if you want to do like a smoky look, you want to use like a smaller brush. And you can see this has a little smaller head here. What is this one? This one is the Morphe M513 brush. When I'm doing a look with more than one color, I try to go with at least 3 brushes, and you can tell by the size of them how big to small they get. So I usually will start out with this brush here. This is my fluffy brush. I'll start to go into my crease with this dome brush here, and to kind of marry them all together and kind of be a little bit more consistent with the color, I will go in with this. So you kind of going to want to go from like large, medium to small when it comes to blending. And then when it comes to smoking out your eye, you want to go to a, ooh, look at that. You want to go to a smaller brush, you know. So this is like maybe my my 4 brushes that I use when I do my look here. And then I try to stay within like maybe 4 brushes, and then I look down, I have 20 brushes that I use. So I try to do like a minimum of 5 brushes. It's really up to you of what you want to use. When I do my brows, and I should have washed this, I didn't. This is my part of my Juvias Place collection. I got like maybe 6 brushes, and I've shown this before. This is my, what number is this? This is a brow definer, a J1. This is what I usually create my brows with. And this is a little square brush that I use. This is one of my favorites that I use. Now, when I do a cut crease, which I rarely do, but I use paint brushes. I go to Michael's and I get their paint brushes, and then I flatten them out. So this is really good. Even if you don't want to do a cut crease and you want to make it seem like that it is a cut crease on your lid, you can use one of these brushes. But you have to make sure that your brush is completely flat, you know, to get that effect. You see how that is? And I don't even know what brush this is. I have no idea. I went to Michael's and went to the paintbrush aisle and just grabbed me a couple of them. Let's see. I've got quite a few. Not quite a few. I have some. Maybe like 3 of them that I use. And yeah, I make them all completely flat just so I can cut a crease. Now the brush that I do use that I don't cut my crease with, that you just want to this is kind of like for a shimmer shade. This is my Japonesque brush, and more than likely I probably got this from Marshall's, because I don't believe this came in a set. I'm sure I got this from Marshall's. This is kind of I didn't flatten this, but it is kind of flat, and this is good for packing on like shimmer colors into your crease to give you the appearance of a cut crease. So this is my go-to for that. If I don't want to specifically do a cut crease because it's very time consuming, I will just take this brush and use this. And it gives you a good color payoff also. These here next, these are from my concealers that I use. I use these almost every time. This is these orange. Anytime you see me using an orange brush, these are the Instapop. No, Real Technique. This comes from Real Techniques, and I've gotten these from Walgreens. You can get these from Walgreens. This one here, I usually blend out my concealer under my eyes. This is the Real Techniques brush. It's a contour brush. It's a contour brush, but I use it to blend my my concealer out under my eyes. I don't necessarily use this for my my contour. This one is a little bit pricier. I ordered this offline. This is the Zoeva. I've used this before, the concealer perfector. And as you can see, this one has like a flat head, kind of like an angle head. This is really good for setting in your concealer underneath your eyes. I got this from Ulta. So this is a really good brush. This is one of my now go-to brushes that I use here. Let's see. This one I ordered. I got this on sale. Like I said, I do not pay full price. If it's a pricier, more of a pricier brush, I will wait for it to go on sale. I go to Ulta and I put it in my cart and I wait for their sales, and when it does go on sale, that's when I order it. This is my Japanese, I don't know how to say that, Japanese brush. And I also use this to go ahead and press my concealer in under my eyes. And as you can see, it's kind of also has like a flatter head here, like a angle. So it's kind of good. Let's see, under my glasses, sorry. It's good for like pressing in that concealer underneath your eyes. A contour brush that I use for my nose to go down the bridge of my nose. And this is also a Real Techniques brush. I think this is the now this is a concealer brush. It's funny. What I do for concealer, I use for contour and vice versa. This is actually a concealer brush, but this is what I contour my nose with. And this is a flatter head brush, so it's easier to kind of go down the sides of my nose here. This is my go-to brush for that. For contour, to apply my contour, I also use these for like blush. I use this is my Ulta brush, and it's a cheek brush. Got this from Ulta. This is kind of an angled fluffy brush. I use this, or I use another Japonesque brush that I probably got on sale from somewhere. It's a little angle brush, and I use either of these to either apply my my contour, my bronzer, or my blush. Well, I mostly use it for my contour and my bronzer because it has an angle to it, so it's easy to push that product into my skin. So these are my two go-to brushes, and like I said, this is an Ulta, this is a Japonesque, but you can get any brush as long as it has like an angle to it. You know what I'm saying? Something that can kind of go across your jawline, with the jawline, your cheeks. These here, go-to brushes. My favorite foundation brush. Now I have quite a few. I interchange my foundation brushes. Sometimes I'll just grab something, but I would say my go-to favorite brushes. This is what is this? This is an Instapop face brush. Now, like I said, these are Instapops, but this one particular I got it in pink. I don't think it's any different. These Instapop brushes are bomb. Yeah, you can get these from Ulta, Walgreens. Inexpensive. They're not pricey at all. This one has like a little angled fluffy head, and that's good for just going ahead to press your product into your skin. It gives you good coverage. It does not shed. This is my go-to. Also part of my Juvias collection, this is the J1 round top foundation brush. Now this is a little bit more dense. If you ever look at my videos, I normally mix my foundations. So I normally don't use, I do kind of use matte foundations, but it depends. You know, this gives you a lot of coverage. This is going to give you a lot of coverage. You know, this is more of a dense head brush. This is one of my favorites here, and I have a few more that I use, but yeah, this is another. These two are the same, so I interchange these. It's the same thing. Instapop face brush, either way. I think they're just different colors, but these are really good, very inexpensive. This is great for foundation. And then finally, my blush. Not my blush or my setting powder brushes. I love a fluffy brush, you know, to get that powder on your face. You know what I'm saying? This one here is, I got this in a collection. This is a Ulta Beauty powder brush. Of course, as it said, I got it from Ulta. And this is a nice fluffy brush. This is good for your setting powder or your blush. I usually use a big fluffy brush for my setting powder. Or I think this is another Instapop. Yeah, Real Technique Instapop. These brushes are really good. They're really good and inexpensive. I normally use this. This is a smaller brush. I probably use this one for more so for my blush application. So all together, let's see. If you want to do a full beat, here you go. This is all that I use. It seems like a lot, but once you get into it and you start applying, yeah, as soon as you start applying makeup and you reaching for products, you're gonna look up, you're gonna have a whole table. And not, and all of these, for the majority of them, all of these brushes are under $10, except for maybe one or two of them. And that's it. You got any questions, comments, leave them down below. Feel free to ask me anything. I hope you enjoyed this quick video, and I'm going to try to put out more video in days to come. Thank you.